Good.
Hi, everyone. Mitch from PickDogs.com. It is Saturday, April 2nd, 2022, here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year, of course, on the weekends. Gone to kind of this Cappers Roundtable format, and I think we have even more people on the way. So never quite sure who's coming, who's not coming on these weekend shows. So it's always a grab bag. But anyways, had a grab bag morning here. Internet issues. Normally I have a nice, good Ethernet connection, but I don't know. It's weird. It's like I'm on Wi-Fi. So see if it holds up. Normally for live streaming, Wi-Fi, death. Bad. It's like just not a good idea. But too many things can go wrong. Anyways, hopefully it's a good day on the hardwood, though, for us, and on the ice. Got limited schedule. I don't know, the NBA, it's like, I don't know what the hell they're doing. It's like there no games on Monday, 12 tomorrow, 12 on Tuesday. It's like, I don't think they've ever done this before in this manner. But how you doing today, Joe?
I'm doing good, thanks, Mitch. Been a great start to the morning, so I'm good.
I had a weird thing happen to me. I had $100 parlay in one of my betting accounts, and I thought that I had lost the bet, but I had actually entered in one of the bets incorrectly, and that one actually won, and it turned out that I hit a 6-teamer. So it was like from 2 weeks ago. I just happened to check into the account because I was looking for a line on a game for my for an alternate on one of the games to see if where I could get the best price, and I just happened to log in. I saw the money in there, and I was like, I went back for the graded tickets. It's a winner. I was like, wow.
Definitely a beautiful mistake making there.
I'll take it. It was a really good one too. It had that Miami money line. Auburn was part of it. It was big. It was a really nice one. Yeah.
That was your subconscious telling you, you don't want to take that side. You got it. Nice work.
Anyways, Final Four today. Got 5 NBA games. What's going on? Is there any hockey today?
Yeah, there's a whole whack load of hockey. I think we got 7 games in hockey today.
Awesome.
Yeah, it should be good. There's some really great matchups today. I'm excited for hockey.
Well, we have Shane with us, and I see Ron Romanelli, Brad Francis, Al Ninos. I guess Jovan will be here. Brian's supposed to be here. And maybe Al McMorty as well. So a lot of different opinions, but got the Final Four today. I don't believe we have the 4 best teams, but it's just the way that it works out. It's the 4 hottest teams right now. The world on Kansas. I mean, the world, which I don't know. I didn't give out a premium pick in this game, so I'm going to tell you guys I'm betting Villanova reverse alternate everything. I'm loading it up. I got that parlay money, so I don't know. I see so many people on Kansas. It's like I understand Villanova's got the injury, and they had the injury last year, but they're stacked. Kansas has been really not impressive at all this season. We've seen them just absolutely get bounced so many times. I think even last week against Miami, they kind of got off the hook when Miami just went cold on them. They were dead to rights in that game too. I don't know. I don't think this is a great Kansas team. I don't think that they have the shooters that some of the past Kansas teams do. Remy Martin, to me, overrated, probably one of the most overrated players in the nation. And I'll tell you, I look for Villanova big in this one. I'm gonna see how far I can take it on the alternate. And
I would love to see it
go all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see the bomb squad just raining on them. Remy Martin sitting there acting like, looking like an idiot throwing that. He throws it like this, right? That's how he shoots. It's like a straight line, right? It's like, I mean, he's terrible. I mean, it's like bricking free throws, in the clutch. It's like, I've seen this before. It's like, it's not like they were great all season. It's not like Bill Self, always gets to the promised land. So I don't know. I think Jay Wright is the better coach, and I think Villanova is the better team. Of course, missing the key player there, but even without him, they're still a better team. So I don't know. All the trends, everything says Kansas. The world seems to be on Kansas here. I don't know. Romanelli, you on Kansas?
No, what makes you say the world is on them?
Because they are. Because everything I see says Kansas.
I see
Everything.
kind of 50-50, but
I
I do
don't see
like
it.
Villanova in this one. I don't have a premium on it, but I do think there's a little bit of an overreaction to Justin Moore being out for this one. Villanova doesn't have a ton of depth, so the bench is going to be stretched more than what we've seen this season. But like Mitch said, Jay Wright, I think he's the most underrated coach in college hoops. I think he could be considered a top 3 coach of all time. And Villanova, it's just giving them 4 points is just danger zone in my opinion. So I understand that the trends do say Kansas, and there usually is a 1 seed that makes it to the final, to the championship. But man, I think Villanova is going to hang in there. That's a lot of points to give up in a Final Four game.
Kansas was kind of the 1 seed that no one really thought should be a 1 seed, right? And they're kind of like that team that, a week before the end of the season, if they were a 2 seed, I don't think anyone would have been surprised. I don't think that their big man shoots well enough from the line to get them home. And I think that's a big problem. You have a big man that can't hit from the free throw line. North Carolina's and Duke, they're big men. I mean, Duke, when they foul the big man, he shoots 80% plus. It's like, you're in deep doo-doo. But this guy, Lightfoot, shoots like 15%. I mean, he's hideous, right? It's like I could see Villanova, the number 1 free throw shooting team in the nation, bomb squatting Kansas, unless we've seen crappy officiating before, right? Anyways, Brad, do you have a premium pick on this one, or
I actually do. I have 2 premium picks on this one on the total and one on the game. So I'm a fan of this game. All I'll say is I think it's going to be a close one. Kansas has been iffy this year, but they do have the talent to beat any team at any time. So I don't know. It just depends how they come out. And then Villanova, much better coach team. So I think we're just going to have a great game here. Can't give out any picks, but it's going to be a good one.
Well, Nino, let's take a look at some stuff here on this one before we go any further. Let's take a look at a couple things here. When we look at Kansas, right, and we look at their losses this season, 10-pointer to TCU the last time they got beat. So obviously they can lose to crappy teams. Well, TCU not crappy, but I mean they lost to Baylor by 10. They lost to TCU by 10. They lost to Kentucky by 18 points. They lost to Dayton on a neutral court by a point. Dayton didn't even make it to this tournament. But that was earlier this season. So, some of these losses by Kansas, one-sided, and of course the 3-pointer at Texas as well that they lost on top of it. When we look at Villanova, the Big East was a lot of tight-ass games this season. I mean, you look at teams like Providence. I think Providence played in more games that were decided by 5 points or less than any team like in the last 25 years or something. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, where it's like every game came down to the last shot, or the last, and it seemed like Providence had the lead in all of those games and the other team missed the shot, right? It was like, let's see if I can get this historical Villanova here. So I'm just missing it. I understand that. It's Kansas, right? I get it, but it's like I just show the world on. So the Villanova's last loss was at UConn, 71-69. They lost by 10 at Marquette. Marquette was on that heater. They lost by 3 at home against Marquette. They lost by 20 to Creighton. They lost 57-36 to Baylor, a Big 12 team, which might have something to do with this. They lost to Purdue by 6, and they lost to UCLA by 9 in overtime. So all their losses to tournament teams. Well, Kansas has the one loss to Baylor. Al, do you have a premium pick on this one, or are you can talk about it?
I do. I have a premium pick on both these final 4 games. Can say a couple of things though. I agree with what the guys have said though. That is a big injury, but again, 4 points, still 4 points in a game like this. It should be a good one. I don't want to say too much, but I definitely have a pick on this one. Yeah.
Joe, how about you?
No, I don't have a pick on this one. And, I was looking at that injury, but again, I agree with you guys. I think that's too many points to give Villanova in this one. And you're right. The world I've heard it. I've had friends text me saying, my husband said Kansas is going to win today. I was like, oh man, Villanova, I think money line it.
And one thing I will say about both these games today, you're right. Kansas may not be the most impressive number one, but I mean, a lot of these teams just getting hot at the right time here, I think. So that's one thing to consider with both these games, I think.
But Villanova had the slow start to the season. So, like, when you look back at their bad losses, they're in December, and you look at Kansas's bad losses, the 3 weeks ago. That's the difference, is that Kansas has been pretty much level all season, right? Well, Villanova is getting better and better and better and better, but you have to replace more, and it's not like he's just a player. It's 15.3 points per game. He's a key player. 5.2 rebounds per game, 1.1 steals per game, 2.2 assists per game. He's a key player. It's like when they lost Gillespie last year.
Mitch, any thought on the first half of this? We know the trends. Villanova from the betting tools has won their last 6 first halves.
Kansas was horrible the first half last week as well. So, yeah, I'm going Villanova all the way here. I just think too much Kansas love for me. Way too much.
I agree with you.
And it's like I think when Ron says, where do you see everybody on Kansas? It's all over social media, all over the places where you look, because the data that we get is obviously incorrect. I mean, if you look at every game in this tournament, the data that we've seen that's been fed as the public and the non-public side has been incorrect. Every single one of them. The only correct data that we get at this point is from the books directly, and unless you're getting that report from them. But I didn't get one on this game yet.
Yeah.
One of my favorite plays for that first half is the first half under. I think Nerds will play a part in that, as well as Villanova. They play at a pretty slow pace, so loving the first half under there. Got some action on that.
You think there should be some accountability on these guys for the data that they report out?
Probably.
There should be.
Probably should be.
There absolutely should be.
I think there's just way too many bets that they just can't even know about for that to. I mean, it can give you an idea, of course, but it's obviously never going to be 100% accurate.
Well, if we go Villanova on the alternate line, as high as we can go is -3.5, and I'm seeing +251. So that's the most wiggle room that the books are willing to give you. It's really not even
giving you much.
No, because the money line is +170. So they're only giving you $80, like 3.5 points. You know what that means? They're running for cover.
Hell yeah,
They're running for cover because the bomb is about to drop. That's what we've seen when we look at these money line and alternate lines throughout the year in football and every sport, that the books will protect themselves. And normally you'll see like an incremental jump at one point, where it goes, where you'll see it. And the odd thing is, right? So here's how inverted the money line is and how messed up it is, right? Here's how thrown off guard the books are here. How they're running for cover is that if you go to Villanova money line, they're +170. But if you go to Villanova -1, they're only +169. They're getting hit. They're running.
Wow.
Someone's hitting them hard. Someone is hitting them really hard. This is not a very good sign here for Kansas backers. So
what's your money line on the North Carolina game?
It's the same.
Okay,
Both
yeah.
games are exactly the same, except the only difference is that Duke money line is minus 195, while Kansas money line is minus 200.
Oh, okay.
Only difference.
Yeah, I see.
It's the same way for both games.
I see actually them giving a bit more plus money on Villanova than they are on North Carolina on this book right here. I'm looking at. Well, it's again not a huge difference. It's right there, yeah.
So these games kick off tonight. We've got Villanova and Kansas kicking off at 7:09 East or 6:09 Eastern, sorry. And then North Carolina and Duke at 8:49.
Shane, did you give your opinion here?
I have not. I mean, as a Kansas fan, this game really scares me. Villanova's has had the Jayhawks number. But one thing that's overlooked with this Kansas team is Remy Martin has carried this team to this point. I mean, the Jayhawks have made it to this point with Abaji really, really struggling. So if you're a Kansas backer, that has to give you some confidence. But like I said, this Villanova team, even without Justin Moore, really scares me.
To me, I just don't see that Kansas star. Abaji's good, but I don't see that star power like I've seen in the past. Like, to me, like when I think Kansas, I think a bench 12 deep with Kelly Oubre's, and it's like I don't see it on this team. I don't see it. I think like Oubre on the wing. It's like nobody nobody wanted the ball to go there because once it did, it was over, right? It's like I don't think anyone's afraid of any of these guys on Kansas. And I don't think Villanova is going to back down from them for 1 second. I think they're going to pound them. It's just my saying. I don't have a premium on it, so I can say that stuff. Big East versus Big 12. A lot of pride in that one. Anyways, that's another game too. It's Duke against North Carolina. Oh, Jovan, welcome to the show. Do you have premium on Kansas, Villanova?
Yeah, I do.
All right, because we're kind of trying to dodge it. Do you have any commentary on the game, like that won't give away your picks, or you go mum there?
No, not really.
All right.
I'm hearing you have a poker face like me.
To me, I can always talk about the games. It's like this is what I do. So it's like we do it every morning. So it's like I'm well versed in it.
I will say that what you touched on as far as the line, yeah, that was my initial thought, that the books are scared. Looking at that money line in the way it is. And versus how the spread is reading out. So
it just seems odd, that you're not seeing that you're only seeing a $80 increase on laying 3.5, basically 3.5 additional points. It's generally much higher than that.
Yeah.
I know because I bet a lot of these alternate lines. But anyways, got Duke versus Carolina. Romanelli's always criticizing my alternate line play. Doesn't criticize. He's worried about me.
I'm only giving you $80 more there. Are you going to bet that alternative line still, or are you just going to stick straight with money line?
I just did.
Okay.
It happened that fast.
Okay.
What do you think I'm doing over here? What do you think I'm doing over here? Listen to Shane? I mean, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
No, we know you're betting. That's for sure.
All right. We got Carolina and Duke meeting number 3. This is an odd one, right? Because Carolina was playing so bad earlier this season. I mean, you want to talk about blowout losses, 28 at Miami. I think they lost by just the same at Wake, right? Like the same week. And then that was their line in the sand when Duke went into the Dean Dome and busted them up in a no-doubter. I had Carolina in that game. it was not fun for me. You always remember those, right? I had Dallas last night. I had a guy leave a comment because I not only did I have Dallas, I also did it on the YouTube video, right? So I had a guy in there, like, of course, leave the comment. I'm unsubscribing this guy. It's like, let's see, I gave out 8,000 picks. I also gave out, I also gave out on the TikTok and the Mitch's quick pick thing, the TikTok where it's like, it's not a full game pick. It's got to be like a quarter or a half, and it's only 7 seconds long. I gave out Memphis plus 148 first quarter. No one said anything about that, right? It's like,
Well, that's okay. People were missing you on Puck and Crazy in the comments. There was a question. Where's Mitch? Question mark.
on Puck and Crazy?
Puck and Crazy.
What are you,
I don't think
Puck
you
and
made your debut yet, so I almost said, "Are you Puck and Crazy?" But
like,
I loved it.
I don't know. It's like the Magic 8 Ball looks pretty lonely over there.
You might have to make an appearance.
But, then we saw Carolina go into Duke and really handle them. I mean, they just really killed them. And we've seen Carolina, I think, look super impressive here. People were bashing Hubert Davis earlier this season. They were bashing him. Him and Penny took a beating, Took a beating in the press this year. And now here he is in the Final Four. He's 1 for 1 as a head coach. Rookie coach, Final Four. I wonder how many times that's happened. I don't know. I haven't even heard them say it. Have they been saying it? I don't watch the show, so I don't know. But, here he is, first-year coach, Final Four, up against the guy who's been to the most, right? So, I'm guessing he's lost the most, too. It's usually the case. The guys that have been to the most have lost the most, too. Because he doesn't have 17. Oh, Duke's been to 17. He's been to 14, 13, 14. He doesn't have 14 national titles. That's for damn sure. So it's like, I don't even think he doesn't have 14 title games. To me, it's like, it seems like when Duke makes it to the title game, outside that 1 year against UNLV, was that the title game they lost to UNLV? It seems like when Duke makes it to the title game, they win. I don't know. I'm just like going off the top of my head. If anyone has any ideas?
Yeah, I'm not positive, to be honest with you. But it seems that way. Should be a good game. I'm excited for it tonight. We've got Duke coming in here laying 4.
What do you think about games in these big buildings like this, Romanelli?
I always think it's kind of strange.
This is a big building for a basketball game.
Yeah, I always think it's kind of strange. Growing up watching Syracuse in the Carrier Dome, watching basketball, I mean, obviously they pack the gym there and they break a lot of records, but
it's half. They cut it in half.
Yeah,
they cut it in half.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of. I think it's just when you got a football stadium, you treat it like a football stadium. I don't know, forcing a basketball court in a dome like that. But I mean, I really don't have an opinion either way. I just think it's kind of weird.
One of the greatest wins in North Carolina history happened in this building. Michael Jordan hitting the shot to win the championship happened in the dome. Jovan? Oh, go ahead, Joe.
I was just going to say we did have a question about that. Do any of you have an opinion if it leads to worse shooting in these big domes?
Didn't for
Not
Michael
including
Jordan.
Syracuse.
It didn't for Michael Jordan, that's for sure. Yeah, he wanted the ball.
As far as that goes, it takes some getting used to as far as shooting, and it seems like it's contagious. If the game's beginning where players are clanging it, it's spreading like wildfire. It seems like in these games when you're playing in big domes, just based off of my recollection of watching games and and actually a long time ago playing in like a big dome like that situation. That perception is real when when you're playing basketball. So
sounds like we need to send Jovan over there to reenact the Hoosiers scene when they head to the big building and holds the guy up on his shoulders and drops the measuring tape. How tall? 10 feet. Same as our gym in Hickory. So Yeah, I know. It's like, it's not just that. I mean, it's the crowd too. It's kind of like, the racehorses getting spooked out on the track at the Derby. They're just not used to people. The players are used to playing in front of crowd, but not like this.
Yeah, it's
Some
gotta be
guys,
quite the thing to walk out to.
some guys relish the big stage. It's usually the guys that have been there, that have been around the block. And some guys, crumble under the pressure. Obviously Michael Jordan was one of the guys that liked it. Some of the other guys not so much. Michael Graham, maybe not so much.
Well, has anyone got an opinion on this game that they can talk about?
I like North.
You go ahead.
Okay, I like North Carolina money line here. Like Mitch said, North Carolina's been quite impressive this tournament, and the Duke wins look impressive, but against Michigan State and against Texas Tech, they were losing with like 3 minutes left to go, and they closed the game strong. North Carolina knows how to beat Duke. The one thing I am concerned about though is, if the game is close late, you might get those. Maybe the NCAA has already decided that Coach K is going to go out on top, but even so, I think North Carolina finds a way to win this game. I like the money line.
Yeah, you got to be concerned about who they want to go through. I could see them wanting Coach K in this one. Anyone else thoughts on that? Brad, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so I have a premium pick on this one, but I like the first half under, just like I do in the Nova Kansas game. I mean, out of both games today, this is definitely going to be the one that's watched the most, and these kids know that. They know what's on the line. They know the storylines, and I think on the offensive end, the nerves are going to be there, and on the defensive end, the intensity is going to be there. And then throughout the game, it's going to loosen up, and things will become more normal. But yeah, that first half, I think these kids are going to be on edge. So give me the first half under.
Oh no, I lean towards UNC. I don't know about an outright win, but I could see this being close late. But I could also see UNC, folding under pressure. Like they did in the middle of the ACC schedule. They're just one of those teams. They got hot at the right time. I give them that. But I just remember, them getting boat raced in a couple games. In a couple games where I was like, wow. So that's what scares me. They haven't played bad in a while, and they might be due for one.
Okay, Ron, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I agree with Brad. I really like that first half under in this one, but I do like the over in the full game. I think it's going to loosen up in the second half. We've seen both of these teams can really open it up, and Duke's offense has been untouchable in the tournament so far. Both teams like to play pretty quick, and both teams have top 20 offenses. So I do like the first half under because I think you're getting a good price, and I do think that there is going to be some getting used to not each other. Obviously, they know each other pretty well, but the environment, and I think it is going to the nerves are going to be real. So I do like the first half under, and I like the full game over.
Okay, what about yourself?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask Al his opinion. Sorry, Mitch.
Go ahead. I got time.
Yeah, no, the other one I could say a little something about each team. I mean, this game should be a pretty good one too, but unfortunately, the edge I found, I mean, it's just one way. I really like one side on this game. So yeah, premium pick. I don't want to say too much about it. Sorry.
Okay, sorry about that, Mitch.
I like the under in this one. We saw both the meetings between these teams. Big points from both sides, and we saw 94 points. By the winner in one game. We saw, I don't know what we saw in the other one. 94-81 was one of them, and the other one was another monster score. It was 87 that Duke scored at the Dean Dome. I think they scored those all in the first 5 minutes of the game too. It was it was raining. So I think that defense is going to be everything in this game. I think that these guys are going to D it up. I think, offense wins games, defense wins championships, and we're going to see, like what we said, I like that first half under, that Brad was saying, and I also like in the other game, and I like the under here all the way too. I think 151 is a big number. It's also very strong alcohol. But I like the under here. I just think last time out, 175. It's just, it's off the chart. Carolina was they felt so disrespected in that game. They really have ridden that,
Yeah.
I think Carolina's taken the much tougher route here, to get to this game too. Much tougher.
Mitch, out of both of these college basketball games, could you see either of these going to overtime? Do you think there's value in us betting overtime in either of them?
I would think this one probably has the Duke Carolina game, because they did split the season series, because the players know each other so well. What a lot of people don't know or don't realize is that players that play in the same area of the country or whatever, Xavier in Cincinnati, when I lived in Cincinnati, those guys used to practice against each other all the time, pickup games. That's why, Mark Lyons, punched Yancey Gates in the face. It wasn't because of something that happened in that game. I'm not letting Yancey Gates push me around. I'm going to zip him up. It's like Sean Miller's back at Xavier, working the phones. He was good at Xavier.
Just looking for this one to go to overtime. Yeah, for this one to go to overtime, it's plus 1260 over on FanDuel.
Why not?
Minus 4,000 for no. Wow.
Why not?
1260 for yes.
Why not? Why not? I mean, Carolina went to OT versus Baylor.
Sprinkle.
Yeah, it's worth a sprinkle. Carolina went to OT versus Baylor. The Duke games have not been as close. Cal State Fullerton, Michigan State, Texas Tech, which was probably the bigger upset for Duke, and then Arkansas. Meanwhile, Carolina, Marquette, Baylor, overtime, UCLA, St. Peter's. They beat 2 of the Final 4 from last year to get here. I think Hubert Davis is the coach of the century, man, to be able to do that, especially from where he came from. Brian, we've gone over both Final Four games. Do you have any opinions on either of these games?
Yeah, glad to be with you guys today. The game I was going to give out was the over in the Kansas Jayhawks and Villanova game. I think you're going to see solid defense. Both teams exhibited this season. Villanova clocks in at a paltry 93rd defensive rating this year. And I think we're going to see Kansas push the pace in this game. See a lot of love for the under. Villanova did hold Houston to just 44 points, but I think we see both teams get to 70 tonight. So the over 11-4 Jayhawks last 15 Saturdays, and over 5-2 Jayhawks last 7 following an ATS win. I like the over 133.5 in the Kansas and Villanova game.
I think the only way you get there is with overtime. Anyways, well, I'm just saying. I mean, we already talked about it.
You're right. I'm sorry.
That's okay. But anyways, but everyone has their own opinion.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the show.
That is the beauty of the show. I just think that I think Villanova is it's like that's really hasn't been their style to the over. Anyways, we go to the NBA. We got 5 games today. Super exciting card. Actually, some pretty good matchups. I like the new format. The show kind of covering stuff, right?
Yeah.
And instead of everybody's here, everyone's talking, we're kind of got the Sixers against the Hornets. 5.5 points here for Philly. James Harden lost that game for us. Right? It's like I don't even understand that. It's like, how can one guy lose the game for you? What about the other? What about the other 47 minutes and 85 seconds or whatever? Of the game. It's like I don't think one guy can lose it for you in a team sport. It's like
no, not at all. That's why it's a team.
It's like when a field goal kicker misses the field goal. It's like he didn't win it for you. He didn't win it for you, but he didn't lose it for you. What about the other 59 minutes and that you had all
Except
those
some of
other
those field
other
goal kickers, man. Tell
Oh,
ya.
so
If
Aaron Rodgers.
if it's a 30-yard field goal to win the game, I mean, those are the ones they have to make. So
Well,
then I would say it did cost
you
the game.
would hope they do, but they don't always. And like when Mason Crosby goes through a slump, which he does every couple of years, he'll won't hit a field goal for weeks. Aaron Rodgers will just be like, we had 10,000 other opportunities to win this game. It's like to put points on the board. It's like this guy's won so many games. It's like we've had thousands of opportunities throughout the course of this game that we didn't hit on. So I have to agree with that. But anyways, it's James Harden's fault, Romanelli, isn't it?
Of course, it always is.
Yeah, he's always the scapegoat, right? He's always the scapegoat. But the Sixers really not playing their best basketball down the stretch. So weird because they've been such a good home team, the last several years. And then this year they're kind of pretty blah home team and really good on the road. Meanwhile, the Hornets saving the best for last here. But the odd thing is that the East Conference is so tough that the Hornets are they're battling it out to stay out of the 10 spot. Jovan, any thoughts on this one?
I don't know. You usually see this out of Dark River teams. When things go bad, it gets to be a lot of finger pointing. So it was kind of like that towards the end of his tenure with the Clippers. It's like that now. It wasn't really like that in Boston, But I think with Boston, with those teams, there was a much older group, a veteran group, and they liked each other, so they didn't play those type of games. But James Harden, it's like a black cloud with him. To tell you the truth. Now the ball sticks with him. That's his main problem. He likes to dribble between the legs, step back, shoot the ball. Those type of things when it's not called for. So I mean, I can see how fellow players and coaches get frustrated with him. But on the other side, would you rather have him or Ben Simmons? So I mean, the answer is obvious. James Harden all day. So I mean, they made the move. They should be happy with it. Can't complain about it. As for this one against Charlotte, like Mitch said, Charlotte is saving the best for last. They're a damn good offensive team. A streaky team. Offensively, defense, a lot to be desired, and that's where the Sixers have them. So if the Sixers could play their brand of defense, I don't see how they should have any problems. But that's if they play their brand of defense.
Speaking of Ben Simmons, he wants $20 million from the Sixers for not playing this season.
Who brought up Simmons? Come on, Jovan.
Well, it's an awesome segue into Brian, who calls Ben Simmons the next Magic Johnson. Even last season, this last season, he reminds him a lot of Magic Johnson, except Magic Johnson actually plays games and wins championships.
I think the difference is Magic would be playing right now. I don't think Magic would be sitting.
Magic wins championships. Magic won championships.
I'm talking
Ben
about
Simmons
a year and a half, 2 years
stiff.
ago. About 2 years ago, he reminded me of Magic Johnson, somebody that.
In what way?
He was a triple-double threat every single time when he stepped on the court. Ben Simmons was. Now, as far as shooting jump shots and free throws, that's
you would say Ben Simmons is a team leader, kind of like the guy that
No, he's
just
not a team leader.
next man up. Like when Kareem went out in the finals, he played center, right? It's like, I mean, come on.
Maybe
Ben Simmons be like, my toe hurts. I need $20 million. It's like, what the hell?
I'm thinking more of the body type.
See, Magic Johnson won an NCAA title. Ben Simmons' team didn't make the tournament. Let's see what other comparisons we have here. I mean,
but Simmons only played 1 year of college, right? LSU. So he didn't really get the opportunity. Anyway, I'm not a Simmons backer anymore. I'm off the Simmons bandwagon. I sold my stock.
What do you think of this game?
For me, I'm going to go with the Sixers here, laying the points. I know they lost 3 straight, but I just this team. I think they're the best in the Eastern Conference, or at least right there at the top.
What?
And that, as a dog, the Hornets are just 2-7-2 over their last what's that, 11? So
The
they're not
best
great as
in
a
the
dog.
Eastern Conference?
Well, they're I think they're going to be right there. They're going to be battling out with the Nets and
They're
Milwaukee
going to be
Bucks.
watching on TV.
I don't know. With Sixers, when they're clicking with Harden and Embiid, when they're a tough 1-2 punch. So both of them can get triple doubles any night of the week. So I just like the Sixers here.
Doc Rivers had his day in the sun already as a head coach. He happened to land into an ideal situation with a bunch of superstars and some really bad trades on the other end of it, and ended up getting a ring out of it. But outside of that, he's not going to gel this team together. Anyways, Ron, what do you think?
I don't think the Sixers are the best in the East, but I think I'd take the Heat, Bucks, Celtics, the Magic, the Pistons. But
I think the Hawks. I think the Hawks would take them out the way they're playing right now too.
The Nets, I probably would take over them. But in this particular game, I'm not really crazy about it. But I would lean towards the Sixers. I do think this is a good get-right spot. The Hornets are a streaky team, as we've seen all season. It's kind of they're like the hardest team to read this year, coming off the win over the Knicks. But yeah, this is a revenge spot after the last game. The Hornets took them down at home at the Wells Fargo Center. I think the Sixers get back here and win a game. But this is nothing. I would never run to the window for this one.
Trayvon H. Simmons will show he's better than Harden. It's always the I'm gonna never happens. I'll tell you that much. I'm gonna. Brad, any thoughts on this, Gem?
Yeah, I was looking at this game pretty hard last night actually, and was thinking about it for a premium, but the line's just a little too fishy for me. But I am leaning Philly in this one. I mean, even though they lost 3 games straight, this team still has a very good roster, and they'll have the 2 best players on the court between both teams tonight, or today actually. So I am liking Philly. If I would have handicapped this game, I would have put it at like -6.5 to 7. So just the line's a little fishy. I'm going to stay away, but leaning Philly minus the points.
Al?
Yeah, when I saw this line, I mean, first glance, I loved Philly, but yeah, when you take a closer look, it's just hard to lay that many points with them right now, and especially against a team that's playing as well as the Hornets are. And they're also getting Gordon Hayward back. He's been out a while. He probably won't play much, but it's not going to hurt them, I think, to have him out there making a couple shots. Yeah, Philly probably has the 2 best players. Can they win by 6? Sure, they could if they want to. But again, it's so hard. I mean, Harden, yes, I don't want to blame him for everything, but he's not going to give you a full effort every night or throughout the whole game. So Embiid can be a bit like that too, even though he's the best center in the league. So I just see a bigger effort from the Hornets here, and I think they keep it close.
Joe, Gordon Hayward, he's normally bad vibes.
I've got to go with the Hornets here. You know what? I look at this and I just think it's too many points. They're playing some of their best basketball at the moment, and they have been strong coming in off a rest as well. So I think Philly wins it. But if you're giving me 5.5 with the Hornets, I'm going to take it. They're 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 road games as an underdog against Atlantic Division.
I'm going to see 6s out there too. So.
Yeah, I think, I mean, if you look at when these teams have played this year, I mean, I know the teams are a little different now, but the Hornets have lost by 3, they've lost by 4, and then they beat them. Mikal Bridges is playing some of his best basketball of the season right now, and I just don't trust this 76ers team. It's clear that, they're already having issues with Harden. The team's already not getting along a couple months in, and I think this is too many points. I'm going to take the Hornets.
Yeah, I got to take the points with the Hornets too. It's 3-game losing streak here for the Sixers, and this isn't, I think even despite Gordon Hayward, being active, I think the Hornets still get it done. I think he'll probably step on a shoelace walking out of the locker room, so he might be okay in that one anyway. So it's like, I don't know. He was great at Butler, but man, ever since that trade to the Celtics, He has really not been a very good player.
Oh, he's not the worst player out there either. I mean,
Well, Ben Simmons isn't suiting up, so it's like we don't have anybody else to pick on.
yeah, I mean, I don't want him out there starting the game or anything, but I don't think he's gonna hurt off the bench.
I thought with Boston he hurt the team. I thought he really did. I thought he just was
He
terrible.
was starting there though.
He was a terrible shooter. It's like he used to be a really good shooter. He's just even a bad shooter now. So he's just not. I mean, this Hornets team is exciting. You know, they have some guys that can seriously play on this team. These guys are fun.
No, fun.
You know, this is like one of the best Hornet teams they've had.
And I was not on the LaMelo Ball bandwagon when he first came into the league, but he's definitely earned a little bit more of my respect for sure. I mean, he's a good player.
How about the commercial with LaMelo Ball with his old man on it? That's a pretty good one.
I haven't seen that one.
We haven't seen him in a while, you know. He was like all over the place, and then he's
while.
kind of like now he's nowhere. But now it's fun now, like the guy that disappeared, and he's kind of back, you know.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that when he popped up at the end there. Yeah, definitely wasn't expecting. It's been a while since we've seen him.
I like what the Hornets are doing. I think if they play some defense, they might be going places. Kind of remind me of what the Hawks were in the middle of the season last year, and then they made that playoff run when they started playing defense. Not bad though.
You think the Hornets? Sorry.
Yeah, Hornets.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, they still have some issues with their bigs, I think, but yeah, their guards are, as you said, very fun to watch. There's some very talented guards there.
To me, the issue there is the free throws, with the Hornets. So
they're just allergic to playing defense.
Yeah. Well, it's not defense optional. It's just no defense. Except, well, the thing is, like, if they play the Kings or something, then they look like, like the old Pistons, Joe Dumars Pistons. It's like the Kings are the worst defense I've ever seen. And they just refuse.
The Wolves are a close second behind the Kings. They just leave every 3-point shooter open.
Yeah. That's oh God, the guy that the Celtics traded, Kemba. That's how Kemba plays defense. Runs the other way. He runs the other way.
At least he's running though.
Yeah, did you see what was it? It's like, I mean, he literally goes in the other direction. It's like this guy going from the 3-point line. It's like he starts moving, the other way. Doesn't even make any sense. Anyway, speaking of the Knicks, up here against the Cavaliers, we've got an inverted line. The Knicks were 2-point dogs. Now they're 1-point favorites against Cavaliers team. These guys figured it out. I think the Cavs made a good step in the right direction. I think that they got a little ahead of themselves here. And it's like sometimes it hurts you, to get a little bit too ahead of yourselves because they're not great drafters traditionally. So it's like not being in the lottery, they're not going to draft like the Bulls do, right? Like, because the Bulls, it doesn't matter where they draft. We know they're always going to get a guy that can play, even though he might not be the most popular pick out of the gate. But they always seem to get a guy that can play no matter where they're drafting. The Cavs could be drafting number 1 and pick the biggest stiff on the board. They have that ability. But they did hit a home run with Garland. They hit an absolute home run. Guys, phenomenal. I never saw that coming. Ever. Anyways, Shane, Knicks, Cavaliers.
Yeah, I really like the under in this game. The Knicks like to play the slower pace, and the Cavs are still pretty banged up. Their offense has been inconsistent, but I think they'll be fine playing that slower pace. The Cavs defense hasn't been as strong as of late, but earlier in the season, that's how they're winning most of their games was their defense. I think the pace is slow here and the under hits.
Joe, no one plays
Yeah, that line's moved up.
No one plays a meaningless. No one plays a meaningless game like the New York Knicks. Here they are. 1:00 start, Madison Square Garden. When I lived in New York, these were the ones. I used to love the 1:00 start in Madison Square Garden on the weekends. Those are the best. New York's a basketball town. They go nuts for this stuff. And I saw Bernard King light up the Warriors for like 50 one day in a 1:00 game. It's awesome. I date myself.
Say you saw Will Chamberlain play, didn't you, Mitch?
I saw Will Chamberlain play on TV. I never saw him live. Miami had a team, we had a team in the ABA 1 year, the Floridians, the Miami Floridians. Yeah, they were terrible. Swen Nader. When you have Swen Nader on your team, it's like you're going to get postized a lot. He's like the guy who's always in the poster. Who was the guy?
Where did they play?
I don't even remember. They might have played Miami Beach Convention Center.
Oh.
But, oh man, who was the guy that the Knicks had? Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna find. I'll remember who this guy was. He was like one of the best. That was like my friend's girlfriend worked for Prudential Securities, and they had the entire second row of Madison Square Garden. She got us the tickets for the Bulls Knicks game, and the Knicks had that guy that year that just kept slaughtered. And Michael Jordan like went over him like all night long. It was like the Michael Jordan highlight dunk game. It was awesome. Gotta remember his name. I'll say his name. Everyone will be like, "Oh yeah, that guy." Anyways, Joe, what were you saying about this one?
What was I saying about this one? I don't know what I was saying about this one, but I do know I think I like the Knicks better as the dog here, but I still do think they get the win and cover here. I'm gonna lay on them. We just look at the Cavs, and they've failed to cover as a favorite. So that's when they were a favorite in this. I think with this line right now, you got to take the Knicks, and I think they get a nice win here.
How about you, Romanelli?
Yeah, I think if you were going to back the Knicks, I think you might have missed the number. I just don't know where the value lies anymore, laying points with the Knicks this late in the season. They are playing probably their best basketball of the year. They are coming off the loss, but before that, they had some nice wins over the Heat and Bulls and the Hornets on the road as well. So it is a tough one, but I think I'll probably pass on this one as far as the side goes, and I'll lean towards the under just because I think the Knicks defense is playing pretty well.
You ever seen Kiki Vanderway play?
No.
Oh, take a look at some of his. You want to see some posterizing dunks? Go watch Kiki Vanderway play for a little while. That was the guy on the Knicks. They traded for him. It was like a big thing because his father had played for the Knicks, Kyle Vanderway. It's a big deal. It's Kiki. It's like, oh man, it's like this is gonna be bad. Brad, Knicks, Cavs.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an ugly game, probably my least favorite game on the slate. But if I had to pick a side, give me the Knicks at home, laying the points. I mean, ever since the Cavs lost Allen and Mobley, their interior has just been so weak. So, like I said, don't love the game. But if I had to, just due to the Cavs injuries, I'll take the Knicks in this one.
Looking at this little Knicks roster, I like Gerald Wilkins, man. I was a good player. Mark Jackson was on that team. Patrick Ewing, Maurice Cheeks, Oakley, Gerard Mustaff was the first round draft choice. Kenny Skywalker, El Ninos, little Kenny Skywalker action for you.
All day.
Had the goggles from Kentucky.
But yeah, this game, man, a lot of injuries, so I do like that look on the under because I think it's a lot of their offense there too. But yeah, I still think I lean on the Cavs though, even without Mobley and Allen. I just think Garland, LeVert, better guards there, and well, Markkanen's due for a big game from deep, so maybe he has one here, and I think the Cavs get it done.
Jovan.
Yeah, this was actually the game I was going to touch on. I'm on the Knicks in this one. Now, to me, it's all in the form that they're currently playing at. The Cavs, they're 1-5 in their last 6 straight up, 0-7 in their last 7 against the spread. They just can't be trusted right now at this point. Brad already touched on it with the fact that there's no Jared Allen and no Evan Mobley, and when you're missing that, the thing about them is that they get there with their defense, not their offense. They're not a good offensive team. You do have Garland, who could fill it up, No Colin Sexton. That was the first piece to drop with them, but they were still kept it rolling. But at this point, it's just they're kind of limping into the playoffs or playing situation or wherever they fall into the 6th, 7th seed. Playing the Knicks team who, without Julius Randle, they might be better off letting this, some of the young guys play. I see them pushing the ball more without him. When they have Julius Randle on the court, he usually brings the ball up, and he's not pushing it. So I kind of like him more without Julius Randle. At this point where they're just letting the kids play.
A little surprising that Kiki Vanderway averaged 19.7 points per game for his career. Super surprising.
Not
Crazy.
surprised. He was on a lot of bad teams.
Yeah, he was on Portland for a while. He was on Portland, and he was good there. 29.4 points in 1983-84 season. Big year. But when he got to the Knicks, was he bad? Oh, and then they banished him to the Clippers, the 92 Clippers. Oh, my God. Nothing fun about that. Oof. Brian's
Yeah,
too bad we don't have the 92 Clippers to send Bitler.
No, I would be taking the 92 Clippers.
I'm sure you were all over the 92 Clippers.
I probably was all over the 92 Clippers back then. But right now, I'm going to agree with Shane and Romanelli here and go with the under on the Cavs Knicks. It's nothing I'm in love with, but I think if you wait until tip, you'll get the best number. I think the first team to 110 wins this game, so I'm going to go under the 219, 218 and a half.
All right, well, we move on. I kind of like this format. I know it takes a little bit longer, but I think give out a lot of picks. I think people like that, get a lot of opinions.
Absolutely, and I'm going to bookmark all these games in there as well, you guys.
Yeah.
You can go back and look at it.
Got the Hawks, and there's not too many games on the schedule, so we can do this. I think, probably when there's more games, we'll have to just bunch a bunch of them together, 2 or 3 of them together.
Yeah.
Do it that way. Got the Hawks and the Nets. This is actually a pretty big game because these teams have the identical record. 8, 9, and 10 in the East all have the same record. So we're talking home court for the play-in type deals. The Hawks have been banged up pretty much all season. The Nets, well, they got Ben Simmons.
Bruce Brown just ruled out of that one too.
Al, what do you think of this one?
I have a premium play on it, so I don't think too much on it as far as the total goes. Should be plenty of scoring in this one, but that's a really high total. So, I guess I can't give you too much on this game. Sorry, guys.
All right, thanks for being here. Brian, how about you?
Well, it's hard to follow up Al on that one, but I think I like it that the total's really high at 243. It really makes me want to jump on, and I think you're going to see defense thrown out the window here. I think we're going to see a ton of point scoring, fast-paced action. Give me the over 243 and a half. I'm not going to bet the farm on it, but I think it's a nice solid play here.
The 82 Clippers were actually 41 and 41. They weren't really all that bad.
Okay.
Didn't that team have Terry Cummings on it?
Mark Jackson, Ron Harper.
I thought you said the 82.
Oh no, 90.
When they was with San Diego. Oh, the 92.
Danny Manning.
92. Danny Manning.
Yeah,
Ken Norman.
I guess a decent squad for them.
Oh, Stanley Roberts was on that team. Oh man, he's so bad. Oh God, Stanley Roberts. Actually, oh my God, 11.3 points per game. Wow.
I still don't. I think Mark Jackson, he still doesn't forgive the Knicks for trading him to the Clippers.
Oh my God. They had the Pearl on that team. He didn't even play. 0.0 points per game. Elmar Spencer. Oh man, this team's Loy Vaught, Gary Grant. Stanley Roberts, man, is not a good player. Stanley Roberts played on the Clippers. Then he was on the Timberwolves, the Rockets, and the 76ers. That was his big year. was that year that we looked at, the 92-93 year, we averaged 11 points per game. It's like, I think he slept through an entire season one year. This guy just, it was like, are you on the court or are you just standing around? It's like, oh man, this guy's just a wealth of material. Too bad we don't have Stanley Roberts kick around anymore. First round draft choice, Orlando Magic, 23rd overall, out of South Carolina. Wow. Oh, he played at LSU. He's from South Carolina. Oh man, was he bad? All right, where are we, Brad?
Yeah. I got a premium pick in this game too, but kind of leaning the over, like Brian said. These numbers, when they're this high, I usually do just pass. Just gets me shaking in my boots a little watching these games when the number is this high. But it's going to be a great game. I mean, the Nets, they definitely have the more talented roster, have the better players on the court, but the Hawks, they do have that home court advantage and are just playing very well right now. So I see a close back and forth game. Like I said, I do got a premium on the winner of this game, but leaning the over.
Romanelli.
Yeah, I'm looking at this one. I like the Hawks getting the points here as the home dog. The Hawks are playing very good basketball as of late. The opponents that they've faced haven't been the greatest. Wins over the Cavs, the Thunder, Pacers, but they did have a nice one over the Warriors. But I think with the total at 242, this is going to be a shootout. And when you're in a shootout environment, points are important to grab. And I think even 2 points could come down to a single point in this one. A last shot wins kind of game. I wouldn't be surprised to see overtime like we saw with the Nets and the Bucks recently. So I think the points are valuable, and you're getting the home team. I don't like laying the points. I don't like laying points with Atlanta at home, but I do like getting points. So I'll take the points with Atlanta here.
The game's off the board now, isn't it? I saw -1 last time I saw it, but now it's completely off the board. Do you see it anywhere?
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, they're probably
I see
just
-1
adjusting that
now.
line.
So
Yeah, I see.
I see -1.5.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's gone off both.
Well,
I love
the Hawks
your
are my
point.
ticket to the bank.
Nice. I love your point on the overtime, Ron. For these teams to go to overtime, it's plus 1,300. And I think with the Nets coming in here just pissed off that loss, we could see this game just being that shootout with the over, with overtime in it. So I'm going to take the overtime in this one.
I'm pissed off that Dallas loss last night. I don't even understand what the hell happened. It's like, I don't even understand that game.
Blame James Harden
for the Dallas game.
Yeah.
It's got to be someone's fault. I don't even know what the hell happened. And they got blitzed.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
They won by
crushed.
32.
It was the thing. It was like they were never close.
That was ugly.
Yeah. Never close. It wasn't like Luka played bad or anything.
36 points.
Yeah, I know. He played well.
Porzingis revenge.
I don't know what it was. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't see it coming. Hit my other games, but that one, it's like it's the one you lose,
Yeah.
It always gets you. It's like 2-1, and the one I lose is the one that,
Hurts.
To me, I thought the Grizz played outstanding yesterday against Phoenix. That coming down the stretch in that game, in the last few minutes, they just really put them away. It was pretty amazing. A lot of YouTube comments hating my guts on that Memphis pick yesterday. A lot of YouTube comments. Jovan, how do you like being a YouTuber now? People hating your guts out there, saying some
I'm a
nasty
YouTuber
crap
now.
about you all day.
Oh no, I don't read the comments, so I wouldn't know what they say one way or another.
I'll just tell you, you got a lot of people that love you, and you got some vocal people that don't. which means you're doing something right.
Comes with the territory.
Definitely. It's like if you put yourself out there, if you want to put yourself out there, there's always some troll that's jealous of you for having the guts to be able to do that. That's for sure. We've all Well faced it.
Speaking of video picks, this is one that I gave an opinion on, and I rode with the Nets in this one. You know, the bottom line is that with Brooklyn, they're a better road team than they are a home team. That's just the bottom line with these guys. I don't know what it is, but that's where it's at. And the head-to-head matchups, they're 13-6 in their last 19 meetings against the Hawks. So those are the two things that stand out to me with this game. They both of these teams neither team wants to go into the 10th seed or 9th seed or whatever. They want to stay in that 8th and have an outside chance to get into that 7th seed. So it's going to be a battle. I think that also as an aside, I think that this might eclipse the total. So I lean towards the over in this game as well. But I'm on the Nets in this one.
Anyone else, Joe?
Yeah, like I was saying, I'm going to take this one definitely to go to overtime. I think that we go over that total. And Jovan, I think, is on the money with the Nets in this one. I think they just come in too mad off that loss, and I think they get the win. So I could play this 100 ways.
It's a potential first round playoff matchup, so I mean, these teams could be meeting in the play-in. So there's two ways to go about it. I don't want to show them too much, even though, it's the NBA. There's tons of film out there. And, I want to send them a message, which is kind of the Nets way. Kevin Durant's a pretty good player. He's decent.
Decent.
Yeah, he's
decent. He's all right.
But
It's like, how does a guy that big shoot like that? It's like, how is that even possible? You never see that, right? You never. It's like, I don't.
Dirk. That's about it. Yeah.
It's better. He's way better than Dirk.
I mean, shooting. The shooting.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, there's been other big guys that can shoot, but not like this.
Kevin Garnett used to be able to shoot.
Better than this?
Not like
I'm not saying better, but he was good. Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk could.
All right. Screw me. Anyway,
Larry Bird.
Bird's another one for sure.
Okay. Well, I don't think Bird
Bird
was
was
as big as
6'10", wasn't he?
I don't think so.
6'10", 6'9".
I doubt it.
Up there, yeah.
No, he wasn't 7 feet though.
No.
You talk about 7 footers shooting the ball like that. That's rare.
Yeah, he's a bit shorter.
Kevin Durant's one of the best players in the history of the NBA.
6'9", yeah, for Bird.
I don't think Bird was Bird is just a different style than Kevin Durant. But the thing I like about Bird is that he always wanted the ball, like in his clutch situation, he wanted to be the guy taking the shot. It's like, and he took losing personally, he was never a good loser. He was never like, well, they played a really good game. Maybe it's like, he never said that, it's like, he was just so mad. It was like, they wouldn't even go near him. Like no, it's like I think Bird, he would have to fly on a separate plane than the rest of the team. It's a mental case.
Yeah. They don't make them like that anymore.
No, they don't make them like that. They make guys that take the day off. It's like, is he gonna play? Is he not gonna play? Is he like last night? The Lakers, they really need it. It's like LeBron's a game time decision.
Yeah, he comes, warms up, works it out then,
Lakers
right?
let me down yesterday. Bunch of bums. So
Let
tired.
me down all season.
That was a popular pick yesterday.
I stayed off him yesterday, but
Well, the line moved like this Knicks line. It's the exact same line movement as this Knicks line. Exact same.
Those Lakers, they need to win so bad. They just can't get it done. It's unbelievable.
Shane,
I
what are
really
you
thought-
selling? Shane, what are you selling at Pick Dogs today? You got any packages?
Yeah,
Final
I got a
four?
few different packages up tonight. I got both college basketball games individually, $34.99. I have those two same college basketball games and my best NBA play, $39.99. Or I have a little sampler pack, which is my best NBA, best college basketball, and my one NHL play for the day, $39.99. I'm coming off a 4-0 day, and I'm looking to continue that success with these couple of packages.
That's a lot of
Awesome.
information. A lot of information. Which one do you like the best? Like, what's your best package today? You know, it's like.
I really like the college basketball games.
I mean, I got yearlies and monthlies and everything also, but it's like I'm not gonna sit here and talk about it. I mean, we can do a whole show on that.
I got. I really like that basketball 3-pack with those 2 college basketball, 1 NBA.
Got a first period hockey with a first quarter NBA. How about you, Brian?
Well, I'm going to go for 3 straight winning days today. Hopefully, I'm starting a little hot streak. I got my Saturday Pound Zone 3-pack. Get my 3 best bets for $50 at pickdogs.com. Team me up with Jovan, who's right there near the top on for the year. I think he's number 2 on the year, or number 1, right around there. So make sure you check me out today. Saturday Pound Zone 3-pack.
Jovan, what are you selling?
I got a 3-pack, all Final Four games, $39.99. I also have an NBA play, play of the night. I'll put that up. I was gonna have a 5-pack, but I couldn't get the 5th one in time. So that's where we're at. 4 plays for the day. If you get a longer term package. So.
All right. How about you, Romanelli?
3 picks, 1 package. Ron Romanelli.
There you go. Bread and butter. Brad, how about you?
Yeah, I got 2 3-packs today. One called basketball 3-pack, has both games, ATS picks, and then an over/under pick. And also got an NBA 3-pack that super confident. I love today's NBA slate, so check that out as well.
And Al Ninos.
3-pack with my best bet in each sport, and then extra play in the NHL and college basketball for everyone on the long-term passes.
We did Jovan because everyone's moving around here. We got you, Jovan?
Oh, yeah, you got me. Yep.
All right. How about
Maybe
you, Joe?
move it on your side, Mitch.
How about you, Joe?
I've got 2 3-packs, 3-pack in the NHL and a 3-pack in basketball with 2 NBA and my best college basketball pick. What about yourself, Mitch?
I have a 3-pack, but I also have extra picks that are not included. And then I also added a new thing for myself, Mitch's big bombs. So it's a lot of the plays that I'm known for, like on the show, the alternate lines, the big dogs, things like that. And I just created a separate thing because the issue is the reason why I had to create a separate is because generally I put my picks in the night before. And a lot of the alternate lines are not available the night before. They're usually only available the day of the game, like reverse run lines, alternate reverse run lines, things like
How about
that.
big hitters, Mitch?
What about big hitters?
I said when I think of bomb, I think of like something bad. Like a big hitter is like something that big and it hits hard. I don't know.
I missed the Brian consultation of Mitch's picks.
I know, but big bomb
segment.
like a bomb,
Okay, well, good for you.
All right.
Anyways, I guess you won't be buying any
I like
of my
big
picks.
bombs.
Yeah, I like
All
the
right.
bombs too. Anyways, I created this just for my things, and it's just so I have it separate than my other picks, only because I might have a dog in that same game, and that alternate line might not be available in my regular picks. So if you buy my monthly or my yearly package, I will include of my regular picks. I'll include the Mitch's big bombs access to those as well. In with those, like I said, I can't do it with the same because it's kind of like for people that are buying my dailies and stuff, I'm not going to have 2 picks of the same game in there. It's like, it's not generally accepted practice in handicapping. And I see guys that do point spread and money line on the same game. And I always say, bullshit, so it's like, I'm not going to go down that road, if that makes any sense. I'm just going to keep those separate. We'll see how it goes. If that makes sense.
Makes total sense. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. So I have that out there, but it's only in weekly and monthly packages. It's not available. I'm not going to have daily packages or anything like that in it because it's like most of these plays are big payers, but they're also long odds. So it's, the probability of hitting those on a daily basis is not as good as putting together a profitable week or month or year, for that matter. So give it a shot. People asked me, so that's why I put it up there. Give it a crack. Anyways, that's it. And also, I'm going to plug the betting tools. I think maybe I'll do that in a little bit. And check out the player pages. These are the best. Makes it nice and easy. Way more props, right? Way more props now. And we're going to have even more.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I was looking over them yesterday, Mitch. I can't believe the wealth of information. So after we're done our VIP show and everything today, I'm going to pull a couple of those player props off for Puck and Crazy later.
I'm going to do a betting tool show, and I'm going to go over that stuff again.
It's fantastic.
Someone asked me on the betting tool show yesterday why I only go live. I was so mad. It was just like, what are you talking about? I hate stupid questions. I just hate them. It's like, no such thing as a stupid question. Yes, that was one. It's like, we do. How many recorded videos do we do? And it's like, especially something like a betting tool show where it's like you're hoping people ask questions, if there's any confusion on it.
Oh, absolutely. Because it is a wealth of information, and it is something people have to learn how to utilize and use. So we need that page.
The player list page is a game changer. I mean, plus adding all the props. The other thing was, like, on the props, the other thing that you guys asked for was to have like the props categorized by these different categories. Now you can do that on the regular prop page. It's called markets, is what they called it, and they, meaning my partners, called it. I didn't ask me. They just did it, which sometimes is the best way to do it, right? Anyways, Bulls, Heat. Joe, what do you think?
The Bulls in the Heat game?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just pull up the spread here. It hasn't moved at all. We're still at +2 for the Bulls. I don't know. I'm going to have to go with the Heat here on the road. I think they can get it done. I just, we've seen the Bulls play well in situations, but I think the Heat in their last couple have just been playing so much stronger. They've also done so well against the Bulls. They're 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 meetings in Chicago. I know it's hard to go against the Bulls at home, but I'm going to have to do it today.
El Nino, Zach LaVine looks like he's probable for this one, but we all know Jimmy Butler hates the Bulls' guts. What do you think?
Yeah, it should be a very interesting game. I mean, definitely one I'm going to want to watch. Zach LaVine, as you said, should be good to go, and I don't think he'd want to sit this one out. Two great players on each team, DeRozan and LaVine on the one side, and then you got Butler and Adebayo. But I think the way that the Heat team is built is better across the board than the Bulls. And not only that, but I think that Jimmy Butler still is the best player on the court. And, of course, Bam would be the best center on the court as well. So I think that's two big edges. I have to go with Miami here. Should be a good game, though. I mean, it could go either way, but I got to go with Miami.
Jovan, the Heat looking for the number 1 seed in the East. Not that they need it or, seem to care all that much about it. But, they had a little bit of a stumble there about a week or so ago and, managed to fight back through it. I think this is a better Heat team that went to the finals 2 seasons ago. What do you think of this one?
I mean, I don't better team than the one in the bubble. Yes and no, and the only reason why I say no is because now they a couple years ago in the bubble they didn't, no one saw the Heat coming. Now everyone's got their eyes on them. They know what they're about. They know that they're well ran, not only coach team but the organization as a whole. So that's the one thing. There's no surprises with this Heat team now the way they're constructed. They looks like they righted the ship. On that 4-game losing streak, and now they've won a couple. That win in Boston was a big win for them. that kind of exercised a few demons, the things that were going on in that locker room, between Jimmy Butler and whoever, the coaching staff, other players maybe. But yeah, for this one, I'm on the under in this one. We all know that Miami, they're a hell of a defensive team. And this, I believe this is going to have a playoff feel to it. A lot of half-court sets. And Chicago, they've been playing some good defense themselves lately. They're 7-3 to the under in their last 10. So I'll take a shot with the under in this one.
Romanelli, Oladipo. He hasn't played in the last 2 games, but he has been on the court a few times. If he can somehow become Oladipo, I think this team wins it all. I mean, imagine if he gets back to form.
Yeah, I'm not sure he'll be the Oladipo of the past, but I mean, not a bad guy to have when he's healthy. And I like the Heat in this spot. I think, they've dominated them this season, 3 wins in the season series, most of them, or 2 of them by double digits. And I think they're just a better team all around. I think you're getting a great price with them because they're on the road, and the Bulls have been very good at home, 27-10 straight up at home this year. And they are a good cover team this year. But I like the Heat in this one. I think you're just getting too good of a price to pass up. So I'll take Miami.
Yeah, he played 14 minutes, 16 minutes, 17 minutes, 16 minutes, 19 minutes, 25 minutes, and then we haven't seen him since. So, I don't know. Number 2 overall pick in 2013 draft. Pretty good player, man. When he was on Indiana, I mean,
oh yeah,
he could take it over. It's a good guy to have because I think it's the type of thing, kind of like how Bill Walton was for the old Celtics in the playoffs. It's a good guy to have, man. When they got your man, saying we're not gonna let Jimmy Butler beat us. Well, this guy all takes is one good day at the office.
Yeah, but he has to get on the court.
Oh, I know. I
don't even think I really with Oladipo. I don't even think he's really. They might if he's available. I think there might be like 1 or 2 games that he'll have an impact, and that's probably all they need, for that team because they have a squad. They have a full boat. The Kyle Lowry acquisition was a big acquisition for them. That does raise the bar for these guys, and we've seen it all year because they've been the number 1 seed. All up until this little blip, and then they got it back. So. I don't think he's nice to have, but can he get on the court? You just said he hasn't played the last 2 games, and that's kind of troubling. Considering that he hasn't played in a long time, and then he was back for a stretch of games, and now he's not even playing. So I don't know what the deal is with that.
I'm not sure what his status is, but I think he's, it's the playoffs is one of those things where the guy goes down, people go down, and it's like, it's like when Lillard went down, for the Blazers a couple years ago. I mean, they would have loved to have a guy like this,
He's healthy and he's been available the last 2 games. They just saw him out. Yeah.
Healthy scratch. I think they still want to push it.
Well, that could be it.
So Jimmy Butler, Harrow, Oladipo,
everything. So
Lowry. I always like teams that trade for the guy or get the guy that is the guy that was the thorn in their side. And he did that with Lowry, right? It's like, I'm sick of playing against this guy. It's like that's basically what they did with him. It's like we're just sick of playing against this guy. It's like. Joe, what do you think?
I'm sorry. I was bookmarking things and ignoring the conversation.
Brad, did we get to you on this one?
No,
Brad,
we didn't. And I actually do like this game. I am liking the Heat a lot as well. It's just a bad matchup for the Bulls. I mean, the Bulls are coming off that wild win against the Clippers where DeRozan had to drop 50 points for them to win in overtime, and that's the issue with the Bulls. They struggle against the good teams because when DeRozan isn't on, they're not on, and they kind of just rely on him to drop a bunch of points and hit his mid-range shots. And the Heat do have a really good defense. They're have the fourth best defensive rating in the league, so I think they'll be able to contain DeRozan and slow him down. And when it comes to just past games, the Heat are the Bulls are 5-12 ATS in their last 17 games versus the Heat. So I'm going to roll with history here and take the Heat minus 2.5.
Yeah, sorry about that, Mitch. I was bookmarking everything, and I wasn't sure where we were at in the schedule with that. I had said when we first started talking about this that I do like the Miami Heat here. I just think they play the Bulls way too strong, and the Bulls are hard to go against at home, but I think this is a letdown spot for them in this one, and the Miami Heat come out strong.
All right. We'll move on down the road.
You forgot me, Mitch.
Oh, it was intentional. Go ahead.
I know, I'm just teasing you. But I thought I'd have Romanelli on my side in this one, but this is a game I should have had as a premium, I believe. I think the Chicago Bulls are the way to go here. Just way too many people are making love to Miami at this line. What is it, -2? The Bulls play their best basketball at home, cover-wise, 12-4 last 16. And as a favorite, the Heat have only covered one of the last 7 as opposed to the favorite. So give me the points here. I would wait until close to tip to bet the Chicago Bulls. I think they get a big win. Now I'm done.
I just don't see the value.
Nah,
I could see. I mean, everybody said the Heat, so I could see. The public's probably all over Miami, but I think it's good reason. 3-0 this season. I mean, Bulls haven't really even sniffed the cover, and you're only getting 2 points at home. It's just, where's the value?
I think it'll be. Yeah.
I think it's possible. Against the spread, it's gonna be 50-50 no matter what. But I just think you're getting such a good price with the way better team.
Oh, way better. I don't know.
I think way better.
Way better.
Way better coach. Miami's great, very good, well-coached team. But
they're way better roster.
I like the Bulls today.
I know you do.
I'll be on my island. That's okay.
You're gonna get me thrown out of my book. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I just struggle with the Bulls in this position. The Bulls aren't strong off rest, and they haven't been playing well against teams with winning records. So
I've been getting
above
smoked.
600, I can't. I love the Bulls. The Bulls are one of my favorite teams, but I don't think it's their day.
I don't know. Anyways, go to our last game. We got the Warriors and the Jazz. Man, I love the Warriors at home in these type of spots, man. They're the king of the dog, right? The home dog and this. And, oh, man. Even without Curry, it's like this is where they show up in these games, right? These are the ones. Got to go with the Warriors here.
Yeah, they covered the spread in their last 7 games as a home underdog.
Yeah,
So
they love being a home dog. They love it. I think Draymond Green, takes it personally. It's like, you think he checks the lines?
Probably, right? Because I know for myself, when someone tells me I can't do it, it adds extra fire. So the Warriors are like that. They come in here thinking that people think they're not going to win it, and they step up.
I think he does. Didn't he make a comment when KD said he intentionally didn't score enough points to cover his over or something like that? What was going on there? I didn't follow the story too deep, but I know KD made a comment about fans getting what they deserve for all the shit they've been talking. Something I can't even remember. Yeah. I remember there's people calling for KD to get investigated or whatever, but for point shaving or whatever.
So someone saying in the comments they like the Bulls because no one at the top wants to win because they don't want to play the Nets. See, number one, that doesn't even make any sense. But number two, I don't think these guys care all that much. I think that I've said this a million times over the years, and it always pans out this way, is that every guy at the professional level except like a very select few at the very top with the gigantic guaranteed salaries, give it 110% at every single moment because there's always some guy there trying to take his job. And 99% of these guys couldn't get a job that pays them 1/zillionth of what they're making right now. And I don't think anyone ever tanks. And I think anyone that ever thinks a team is tanking for a draft choice or whatever, those head coaches do not last on tanking teams. Ask Jim Caldwell when they tanked for Andrew Luck. Ask him how that worked out for him. I mean, the guy in Cleveland says they asked him to tank, right? And what's his name? The guy who's terrible for the Raiders, terrible for Cleveland.
Hugh Jackson.
Oh, it's like you don't need to try and tank. You stink anyway. You stink, man. You stink. It's like Hugh Jackson, you stink. They changed it. I mean, you don't need to try to lose. You do good enough job on that on your own. You know?
They wouldn't have given him that assignment. No.
That's like, that doesn't even make any sense. All right. Al Ninos, I'm sure you're on the Jazz, the favorite.
Maybe. Hey, Curry's out too, man.
He's been out for a month.
He's been out for
I know. That's just another reason to be on the Jazz, isn't it?
I don't know. No idea. No idea what the reasons are to be on the Jazz. I'm on the Warriors. Can't get there.
Jazz haven't covered a game in their last 6. Can't get there either. Anyone else?
Well, for me, I agree 100% with Mitch. I just think the Warriors love spots like this, and they're used to playing without Curry. And I don't think you'll need the 2 points, but for the 1.5, but I'll take it with the Warriors. I think this is another solid free pick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the Warriors. Just a lean, nothing more, nothing less. You know, just the Jazz they're not playing quote unquote Jazz basketball, really. You know, they did win their last game, but that was to who? The Lakers. You know, before that they lost 5 straight. And, you know, I think their time's come and gone, you know, as far as being real contenders in the West. So, you know, on the other hand, you got the Warriors. You know, they're not looking all that tough. But in this spot, you know, they're 7-0 against the spread in their last 7 as a home underdog. You know, I gotta ride with that. You know, just off that alone. So
anyone else, Brad?
I got a premium in this one, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Romanelli?
I like the under in that game. I think the total's super low for a reason. I think the only way the Warriors can compete in this one is if they control the tempo and keep it more of a defensive game. You saw that with the Suns. They were, in that game basically the whole way, and they were able to cover the spread there with the lower scoring game. I think you're going to see something similar in this game, and I like the under overall.
Who's better at stealing money, James Wiseman or Zion Williamson?
James Wiseman.
Good question.
James Wiseman. He hasn't shown anything. At least Zion has showed something. He showed superstar potential. So
these guys are just unbelievable, right? It's just unbelievable. It's like,
how much is Wiseman getting?
Well, he's the number 1 pick, wasn't he?
yeah,
number 2 overall, right? Something like that.
Well, hopefully those guys get in the court.
Yeah, but it's like even if they get on the court, so Wiseman makes $40 million over 4 years. $9,904,960, which means that next year he'll make if he actually plays in a game, he's getting paid double, right? Because he never plays. 2 years.
Yeah,
how many games has he played in his entire career?
not much.
Not much. Calm bullshit on it.
I need to sign a 4-year contract and not show up for 2 games.
Well, it's unbelievable because, you know, the thing that gets me as a fan, you know, of the game, he'll say, "Oh, you're always complaining about how much money the guys make," because if you look at the ticket prices for the Golden State Warriors, right, this is why the ticket prices are so high, right? Because guys like this, it's these guys that are driving the ticket prices up like that. Believe me, if the players were making, you know, if the owners wouldn't be making, you know, more money or whatever, anything like that. If the ticket prices came down and if they cut the ticket prices in half, you know, the owners wouldn't make all that much more than the players or any differential than they make from them now. It's just everything has to be so sky high because guys like James Wiseman, joke, man. Oh my God. 2024, he'll be a free agent. Imagine what he's going to get. It's not even, I don't know. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyways, Joe, you want to take us through the hockey segment?
Oh, yeah, we have it's actually 9 games in hockey today. I misspoke at
Why don't
the
you
start
group
of
a
the
bunch together while I take a nap over here?
show. Okay, you take a nap. I will we've got the first 4. If anyone has an opinion in them, let me know. We've got the Florida Panthers taking on the New Jersey Devils, Pittsburgh taking on Colorado, the LA Kings taking on Winnipeg, and the Columbus Blue Jackets taking on the Boston Bruins. Anyone got thoughts?
I actually do have a 2-team moneyline dog parlay that I was going to give out today, and it is in that first grouping of games. I would take these 2 teams on a parlay as well as betting them individually. I like the Devils and the Kings on the money line each, I think. You look at the Devils, you know, this is a team that I thought was going to take the next step this year. Their offense is really strong for a team that's pretty young, but the defense and goaltending still has some work to do, especially the goaltending. But this Devils team, I mean, their average, they earn a 2.68 expected goals per game. That's really solid. It's better than most of the teams in the league actually this year. And the defense has been good enough. The Panthers obviously can score a ton of goals, but their defense is also not too great. And so I think, you know, you see this total at 7. I think you're going to see plenty of goals in this one. And I think the Devils have a shot to win this one at home. You know, when you're getting plus 175 is what I saw at earlier. You only have to win that 36.6% of the time to make a profit. And I think they win this game about 40+% of the time. So I think you're getting good value there. And I like the Kings on the money line. I think they're the better team. I think they should be the favorite in this one. Obviously, they've had a ton of injuries with their goaltender and defenseman. They're getting injured at the wrong time of the season with the playoffs looming. But I still think they're the better team in the spot. Winnipeg has just not been good on the defensive end. They allowed 7 goals to the Maple Leafs last time out, allowed 5 to the Senators and earlier on in the month at home. So I think the Kings have a real shot to win it outright. So you're getting plus money. Why not take it? So those are my 2-team dog parlay.
So Zeke Show is saying in the comments that Joel Embiid did not play his first 2 seasons, but that's what they signed up for when they drafted him. It wasn't like he came into the league, passed the physical, and all that, like these other guys. That's a different story. When they drafted him, you know, in fact, we did a story on Sports Chat Plays. You know, did the 76ers waste a draft choice on Joel Embiid? You know, because it was known he was going to miss the season. Kind of like Willis McGahee, you know, when the Bills drafted him. It's like they knew he was going to miss the season. Jalen Smith. Anyways, I think there's a difference there. James Wiseman, I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't even understand it. There's a lot of other players they could have picked in that spot. All right. I digress.
Anyway, go back to what Ron was saying. I do struggle with the Kings tonight only because of their schedule. We look at them. They're coming off playing Calgary. They played Edmonton before. They got the shootout win over Calgary. Now they're going back to They're going to Winnipeg, and then they will be back to play Calgary, who they want to beat again. And they're playing Calgary. It's Monday or Tuesday. And I just think this is one of those situations where this is a letdown spot for them. I think the Kings are the better team, and I think they should steamroll Winnipeg. But with the schedule, I can't get there. Anyone else got thoughts on any of these four? Oh,
Yeah, I do. I was actually looking at both both games. Ron was as well. I'm gonna agree with him on the Kings. Sorry, Joe. I think that they're in a great spot here, especially with no Kyle Connor for the Jets. But I will have to disagree with him even stronger, maybe on the other game. I like the Panthers a lot in the early game. Obviously, they're big favorites here, but I like them in regulation or on the -1. So I think the Panthers should win this one pretty big.
Let's just say I'm pretty comfortable with the Devils now that Al Niños has spoken.
Let me add in on this. For me, I really like the New Jersey Devils today. They've won 6 of the last 7 at home, and over a long history, Devils. And when the Panthers go to play New Jersey, they're 13-30 in Jersey. So, and then I also like the Pittsburgh Penguins, one of the best road teams in hockey. You're getting a nice price against Colorado. It's nothing I'm going to bet the house on, but I think Pittsburgh's a nice value here, what they're paying out.
I think there's value on the Penguins as well. Tough game, but a little bit of value there. Yeah.
Jovan, any thoughts on these? No. Yeah, I like Ron. I'm with you on the over though between the Panthers and the Devils as well. I think you're right. That is a high scoring one. So,
It's 7.
yeah, even at 7, I think we got a 5-4 game in this one.
In New Jersey's favor. Shoot that win.
They could get it. They really
Yeah.
could.
I could see overtime. I mean, it's just the Panthers are going to be a team to watch out for in the playoffs. But when you're looking at these big time plus money line dogs, like I said, you don't have to win it, 50%, not even 45%. I mean, this is the implied odds at this money line price is only 36%. So I think the Devils they win this game well more than 36% of the time. So that's where you're getting your money, your value.
Mitch, you're pulling out the 8-ball and the Mitchy pucks.
I'm taking a hard pass. So use the betting tools. They've been fire on the NHL.
Absolutely have been. So there's a lot of good first periods in there.
And also, you got Andrew Hammond expected in this one, too. He hasn't played in a while in net for the Devils. So I'm not sure if you saw that one coming, too. That was a late switch, I think.
He wasn't confirmed yet. I think he's still injured, but it really doesn't matter who's in net. They're all pretty crappy for the Devils, unfortunately. But the offense is what carries them, and I think they could put up some goals in this one. Maybe I'll start in that.
We have 5 other games, you guys. We've got the Montreal Canadiens, Tampa Bay Lightning going at it, Toronto Maple Leafs, Philadelphia Flyers, Minnesota Wild, Carolina Hurricanes, not Panthers, sorry. St. Louis Blues, Calgary Flames, and the Dallas Stars taking on the San Jose Sharks at the end of the night. Brian, any thoughts on any of these 5?
Out of that grouping, I would take a chance with the St. Louis Blues on the puck line. I think you're only paying about -110, -115. Choose Blues 37-30 on the puck line. I know it's a back-to-back spot for St. Louis, but I think this is a 1-goal game all day, so I'll take the puck line against my Flames.
Ron, any thoughts on these ones?
I think you mentioned the Hurricanes game in this time slot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like Carolina. I'm not in love with the price, but I really am just not in love with the Minnesota Wild's goaltending situation. They traded for Marc-Andre Fleury, which is obviously a big name, and he's a legendary goalie. But he really hasn't been that great this year in Chicago. People said, he played on a bad team, so that's why he had bad numbers. But really, Chicago Blackhawks defense has been one of the better defenses in the NHL in terms of expected goals allowed. He's just allowed a lot more goals than he's expected this season. He's actually the second worst goalie in that number. So I'm not big on Fleury. I'm also not big on the backup either in Talbot. So Fleury's confirmed for this one, but I think that price for Carolina is really steep. But they're the home team. They're 25-5-4 at home this year. So it hasn't been a bad bet to take Carolina at home. Wild, not that great of a road team. So I like Carolina here.
And Carolina's defense has been playing absolutely lights out.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Al, any thoughts on these 5?
Yeah, this one kind of similar to the Penguins Avalanche game to me, I think. And yes, both teams actually much better at home. Carolina, huge home ice here, but I do think there's like tiny bit of value on the Wild. So if I had to pick what side here, just be taking a small shot on the Wild. I wouldn't go too crazy with it, but I just think that's where the value is. Yeah, Carolina's a great team, great at home. Probably should win this game, but I think it's just way too steep against the Wild team. That I think that trade kind of, yeah, he's a great goalie, and he hasn't put up the best numbers this year, but I think he has a much better team in front of him. So I think he will finish his season much stronger. So I think there is a bit of value on the Wild there.
Okay. And for myself, I think we can see good value with the Montreal Canadiens on the puck line against the Tampa Bay Lightning. We just seen them play each other super tight, and they've covered the puck line in their last 4 as an underdog against the Lightning. They're 17-18 on that puck line on the road. But we look at Tampa, they haven't been lights out or stopping anyone on that puck line at home, going 13-18. So I got to go with the Montreal Canadiens on the puck line in this one. But Mitch, I think we covered all of hockey. You can come back to the show.
Awesome. So, kind of wrapping it up. Anyone have any parlays? Anything else they want to give out today?
I think I'm going to do one more parlay. I mentioned the Kings and Devils. I'll throw in the Hurricanes, and I also like I like that Tampa Bay puck line. I think it's a solid play as well. So I'll throw that in a 4-team NHL parlay.
Anyone else?
Thanks. Give me 1 second. I'll give you guys one if anyone else wants to go first.
Take the Chicago Bulls and team it up with St. Louis Blues on the puck line today. Those are my 2 sport
Let him for punishment.
I'll go with let's see. That just reminded me. I really actually really like the Heat today. Heat Kings and I'll try to come up with another one after Joe if she has hers ready.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Florida Panthers team total over 3.5, and I'm going to combine that with the Montreal Canadiens team total. I believe it's 2.5. Let me just double check there. Yeah,
Which
it's
one was that?
over 2.5, and you're getting plus money on that plus 140. So you're paying minus 156 on the Florida Panthers team total, and you're getting plus 140. So combined, it should give a nice payout.
I'd throw the Hornets as my last team, I guess. I would go. So that's Heat, Hornets, and Kings.
Nice. Anyone else?
I'll throw one out there. Knicks, Brooklyn, the Miami, Chicago under. It's a 3-teamer. Or if you don't want to over under, then swap it out and go with the Golden State Warriors.
Nice. Mitch.
I'm going to take Villanova on the money line and parlay that up with Villanova on the money line. Villanova on the money line.
Oh, I had a book that. Oh my god!
I'll put that with Villanova money line with the under in the North Carolina Duke game.
I knew a book where you could actually do that. It was a glitch, but they fixed it now.
Oh, too bad.
It was a nice one last.
Also take that. You know what? I'll take Villanova money line. Take the Anaheim Ducks over Joe's Edmonton Oilers. Oh, that's tomorrow. All right, getting ahead of
Go Ducks.
I'll just take that under North Carolina Duke with Villanova on the money line.
Awesome. Okay.
All right.
I love the show today, you guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. We covered it all in detail. Have an awesome day, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.